All right, everyone. Welcome to the Solutions Brewing Podcast. I'm Brendan. I'm doing the intro again because I think I missed another episode, and this is my penance. I'm here with
I don't know
Steve and Rob, and they just got back from Edmonton Beerfest a couple days ago. I was off gallivanting in the mountains, so I'm interested to hear how things went. Did we sell any beer? Was there anybody there?
There's lots of people.
These are all questions.
Like, I thought these were hypotheticals. He's like, there's a pause there waiting for an answer. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro?
So how was the show?
Yeah, no, the show overall was really good. We had some pretty good conversations. Steve had some interesting people come to the booth. Steve had a good conversation there with Jason Foster.
Oh yes, the on beer fellow.
Yeah, he also does his regular CPC columns and broadcasts.
No, his on beer blog is significantly more important and famous than his day job.
Yeah, but he does also those things, and we're giving him credit for what he does here. So yeah, we had Steve. I didn't get to talk to him very much. Steve was talking to him while I was serving beers.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying. Yeah, like there was that came by. There was a few chatty people at the festival, not necessarily people like industry linked or anything like that, but people who just like it was a show that ramped up, which was very interesting, because literally in order of Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, we sold progressively more beer at each one. So the Friday one started off fairly slow. Like to start, it wasn't until about like doors opened at 5.
Yeah, but to be fair with the Friday one, I mean, you think people typical work day is whatever till 5. If the show starts at 5, people aren't going to be showing up at 5.
Yeah. So it was a bit slow to start there, and we're like, okay, like we'll see what kind of happens, sort of thing. But for us at least, like we did 2.5 cases on the Friday, which is slow. Like that's a bit slow. The Saturday afternoon though, we did just over 3, like 3.5, and the Saturday night we did 4.5. So it was just like it started off nice and easy and all that, and then it just like busier. So it was a good show overall. To start though, like there was it wasn't as full as previous Edmonton Beerfests. So like last year when we were debuting our infamous popcorn IPA,
we term for that,
yeah. Like we were like on the main, like one of the main thoroughfares from like the hall C to hall B sort of thing, and we had some good traffic, and this time we were one lane back from that. But what they had done is that in this hall B, at least, a lot of those next lanes over had a dead space in between, like so you weren't like right up against the prior your other vendors sort of thing. There was a bit of dead space there, which was kind of nice just for storage, like just being able to like throw your stuff in there and just like kind of get it out of the way. But it was definitely done as like a space measure as well to kind of like make it look a little bit bigger and to like to spread a few things out, because there were a few. I don't think there was as many vendors, and a few vendors didn't show.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there were some no shows and there were some empty booths, which got turned into like little mini lounges.
Yeah.
Which is like right across from us was
Steve. One. I think the gap between them, I think, just happened to be our location, because that oh my god, what was the name of the distiller that was beside us?
Oh,
Lost Shot,
no,
Lost Things or something like that.
Yeah, Lost Things Distillery.
They needed a big power outlet, so I think that was there to hide the power and not to like take up space on the next booth.
But across from us, like the Tree Brewing Crew, Tree Brewing Co. They also had that space behind them.
Did they? Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah. So like our lane essentially had that as a thing, and one of the other ones towards the back of the hall had that sort of spacing as well. So it wasn't every lane had it, but a few did, just for spacing. Yeah, and a few distilleries. One in particular that we were very surprised at was Birds and Bees Distillery, which we've
they were on the sheet, and I was looking for them because I wanted to try and get some more of their stuff. And
yeah, because they've been around for the last several festivals, and they're good people. They're good to hang out with.
They didn't show up for this one.
No show, eh?
Yeah, they were supposed to be from us over by the Tsingtao booth. They weren't there. Also, Tsingtao was there. They had Tsingtao and not Tsingtao, which was super interesting.
Was not Tsingtao?
It was Tsingtao, but they made us. They have a stout bottle? Apparently. It was
really?
It was not good.
It was no.
You'll like it if you like molasses. It was like basically it's probably like Tsingtao with a bunch of molasses.
We'll just make it black.
Yeah. So they had a wheat beer, I think an IPA, and the stout. And so Rob was doing giving some samples over. So he comes over with this stout, and I'm like, okay, let's see what they got. And just like the first sip was just overwhelmingly powerful molasses. And like, I like a molasses cookie once in a while, but holy man, like it was just like I took the container and just drank from the carton or something like that. I was like,
I'm not a molasses fan. I don't mind it a little bit in like some ginger cookies or something, but
yeah,
no, not in my beers. Sorry.
Yeah, so it was like okay, just down the hatch, get that thing done as quick as possible. But there
was a new brewery that had a fantastic brown ale. Oh my god, Moonlight Bay.
Yeah, you might remember him, Brendan. He saw us in Jasper last year. He was from the guy from Wainwright. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, I think we lost Brendan. He froze up.
We'll see when he comes back in. The brewery from Moonlight Bay, his brown was amazing.
Oh my god, it was so good. When we did trades, I took a bunch of it. It was like the last of the stuff that he had too. It's so good.
I know you were trying to get a full case or something like that, but
I wasn't able to get that much.
And
I think I got like 8, maybe 9 or 10 or something cans.
Yeah, cans, yeah.
But yeah, it was still good. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. So Rob, what other was there any other kind of beer or something like that when it? Oh, there we go.
Hey, Brendan's back.
Welcome
back, Brendan.
I was gonna say you're still recording.
I lost mine, but hopefully you captured it, Rob.
That's fine. I'm pretty sure I have it.
Yeah,
we're good.
No, you're good.
We can hear you.
So yeah, we were talking about the molasses, and then we were talking. So Brendan, if you remember the guy from Wainwright, two Jasper Fests ago.
Yeah, he was Moon River or something like that, right?
Yeah, Moonlight. So he was at the Edmonton show first time as an actual brewery.
Hey, good for him.
Yeah. He had a fantastic brown.
Oh, good.
A fantastic brown ale. And
I've got a bunch over here. You guys should try them.
Oh yeah, when we do tradesies, you definitely should have some. But yeah, he was probably like the new person on the block, and his beers were. I don't think I had any of his other beers.
I didn't get a chance. So we got a couple in the trades. There's some. He's got like a pale ale and I think a West Coast IPA. I think.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Well, good for him. He was a nice guy to chat with at Jasper. It's good to see him on the other side of the booth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is funny. Him and his wife are just like, we don't know if this is a good or on the Friday is this is a good or slow start. It's and it was slow to start, but it was the traffic you got at the end is kind of typical at that point. And they're like, oh, okay, because we have no frame of reference. And I was like, yep, nope, that's fair.
I remember his story. He was talking about just showing up at Connect to pick up his beer and trying to find somebody to help him load it into his truck and all this other sort of stuff. It's just
he's
chat with.
Yeah, he's actually brewing out of contracting out of Blindman Brewery. for his cans. And then we never figured out if he actually does have his brewery set up in Wainwright up and running yet or not. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, power to him.
Yeah. Oh, I learned something after hours the other day, because there was another brewery there that we hadn't recognized or we'd seen before, Tree Brewing Co.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They are a secret big brewery.
Yeah, Big Rock.
Yeah, I didn't know.
It wasn't that much of a secret when I was talking to them. They told me.
See, well, it's funny because
they're basically Big Rock's brewery in BC, is what it is. Yeah. Vancouver.
Yeah, no. So because Krista, my sister-in-law, thought they were like a small brewery or something like that.
No.
And so she was kind of offering them, because she is an arborist and cuts down trees for a living, and was like, hey, for decorations and for all that kind of stuff, would you guys be interested? And then realized, yeah, they're not a small little scrappy brewery. No, they're a big boy brewery, or owned by a big boy brewery. So
yeah, well, that was just part of Big Rock's growth model, right? Because distribution from province to province is really a joke.
Yeah.
That they would build breweries in other provinces, and then they can distribute that way, because then you're a brewery in the province.
Yeah.
So
it's so dumb.
that was just kind of that's how they did that, right?
Which
is fine. If you're able to do it, it works great for them. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually had a great beer though. It was that cranberry blood orange sour.
That was a tasty beer. Yes,
that was a tasty beer. Yeah. Which makes me sad later that it's like, you're a big guy. I thought you were scrappy underdog, but nope, they're.
I got a bunch of traits from them too. I don't think I got any of the cranberry sour though. But
so that's fine. What do you need that for?
That's fine.
Yeah, because you don't like sours. Yeah, it wasn't even that sour, but yeah, it was pretty tasty.
Yeah. But that was pretty much the Friday. What happened after the brewery the whole beer fest thing was done on Friday? What was going on?
So this was new. They haven't done this before. They actually had an after party after beer fest, and this was open to anybody who had tickets. So anyone who was an exhibitor had automatic admission.
Yeah.
If you were a customer and you wanted to get in, you just had to buy a ticket, basically.
Yeah.
To get in. I was curious to know what it was, because I'm like, I don't know. I'm already here. It's not going to cost me. Let's just go in and see what happens. I was in there. I walked around. Took me maybe 10 minutes, and then I left. But but not because.
And why was that, Rob?
Not because the scene was bad or anything like that. It just wasn't my kind of scene. So it was basically set up like a rave.
Oh, yeah, like dance club.
Right. So you go in there. The Edmonton Expo hosts the Edmonton Stingers basketball team.
Yeah.
So this whole thing was taking place basically on the court area, and facing one side, there's just a giant screen, think like a theater screen about that size, and then there's a stage in front of that, which was and then there was a DJ booth on top of it. So it was the DJ on the stage with this big screen behind the DJ. Cranking music. There was are you familiar with those I don't know what you want to call it. It's almost like a gymnastics, where they do the silks. They're someone's climbing and spinning and looping themselves through there was someone doing that.
Aerial, yeah.
Yeah. There was some, it wasn't really, I guess it was kind of an aerial. They went pretty high up. Anyways, they were doing silks. There's that. And then there was a bunch of, a giant bar. They were just serving cans and stuff. And then people were just chatting. A bunch of people were, I guess, moshing or whatever. They're raving in front of the stage. And it was just, when you're, that kind of scene is the kind of music that I'm not really into. I'm into heavy metal and rock. So, and here you're listening to the boots and cats and boots, so it just wasn't for me. So I was just okay, cool, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I left. So
yeah, so that was kind of the biggest surprise of the show, is that Like they had both on the on actually all 3 sessions. They had people posters up advertising it, and people walking around with it and like trying to drum up interest and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, they had a fair amount of people go into those. And yeah. I'm almost willing to bet it was busier on Saturday than it was on Friday.
Oh, guaranteed, yeah.
But I didn't go in on Saturday. I was...
You already kind of knew it wasn't going to be your thing?
Well, I mean, now that I knew what it was, I'm like, okay, well, it's just going to be more of the same.
But the party went to about 1 o'clock in the morning. Like it went to like, because like it started at 9:30. So like if you were kind of done on the floor of Beerfest, because 9:30 is like last call for tickets and that sort of thing, you could then just go downstairs and basically start the party. And it went until 1, and like there was lights flashing, bouncing music, all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, oh, all right then, like that's definitely a thing you can do. And as a result, we were checking just before this call. They're going to be doing something similar in Calgary. Same sort of thing, like dance, rave, sort of shenanigans.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be a completely different style of after party.
Who knows?
Is
it being hosted by or sponsored by Cold Garden again?
It doesn't say on the Calgary website, but they do say that small town DJs will be involved again. So that's like, I think the organizing group or whatever for it. So yeah, it's probably going to be similar vein.
It is featuring Cold Garden.
There you go. So
there we go. Yeah. But yeah, so that was basically all of Friday. Saturday. So yeah, during the afternoon session, I talked with Jason from On Beer Org, and it was really funny because he was just basically, he's like, "How are things going?" And I'm like, "Things are going okay," because like he's been on his blog, like he's been unfortunately reporting a lot of doom and gloom, like just breweries closing and tough times ahead for the brewery industry. And then we were just talking for a bit, and it's like, actually, yeah, like we're doing okay. Like we're we've got our beers, like we've got our production facility. We're coming out with like another beer in like literally a month sort of thing. Yeah, so it was just like him talking with him in a little bit, and a little bit of industry talk sort of thing.
Yeah. We might even start getting included in his stats. Because now he knows we have a location, so now he considers us a legit brewery.
Yeah, because contracts don't count.
Contractors don't count. He doesn't count.
But if you have a spot, and it was really funny because I told him, like, I think we're the smallest brewery in the province.
Yeah,
and like by production space, almost certainly. By volume, who knows? Maybe not. It's kind of hard to tell.
Oh, probably.
But
probably still, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fun to talk to him, and then it was hilarious because then I'm like, oh yeah, he's like, is there anyone like new at the show? I'm like, oh, you should go see Moonlight Bay because they're here. They're the Wainwright Brewery, and apparently he put out a list of like all the places where there were towns that had it, and he didn't include them, and people like messaged him repeatedly being like, no, like this isn't right, you got to make sure you include them and all this kind of stuff. So he's like I quickly made a correction on my website or whatever, but yeah, it was nice doing a little talk shop with them, and then we talked a little shop with 948 as well, which was interesting.
Oh yeah, we were goofing around with them.
Oh yeah.
Before the game, or before their booth was set up, they were away from their booth and their chalkboard was empty. So I just wrote "Solutions" was here, and then we walked away.
And then they came back.
They erased it off, of course. I mean, whatever. We're just goofing around, right? And they wrote, that's what they were using for their sign to say how many tickets it was for a sample, and just said 2 tickets. And then the Saturday, I changed it to 200 tickets. They came in. They snuck a sticker on our little our
they had a secret agent come by.
We came by. Yeah, they kind of distracted us with someone. He stuck a sticker on there. I was like, oh, we've been 948'd.
And then he was a little worried because he's like, I don't know if that sticks too well. I don't know if like it's gonna stay on there or not.
Yeah, he was worried that it wouldn't come off. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, like we just peeled it off. We did put it on the back of the of the freezer door now. So
Worst case, we would have just like thrown our own sticker on top of it. I mean,
oh yeah. But yeah, like the afternoon show, I think this is going to be a thing going forward. We had sandwiches again.
Hey!
yes, thank you, Muleys. They were from Muleys.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so they had like basically it was funny. They had a meat and a veggie option, and then a gluten-free meat and veggie option. So there's 4 kinds of sandwich, and you got like basically they came around and gave tickets to all the booths for that. But it was a good sandwich. It was like a standard like Italian style one, so like provolone, banana peppers, pickled cabbage, I think, or pickled onions, and then like Italian meats. So it was decent. It was a decent sandwich.
Yeah.
No Spalumbos. No Spalumbos, but it was good.
But hopefully we'll get the Spalumbos for.
Oh, for sure they're gonna do the Spalumbos again in Calgary.
Yeah, it was nice because you only get an hour between the shows, and it's not really enough time to go somewhere to get something and come back. So it's nice to have at least.
I just remembered our adventure on Friday there, Rob.
The Forever Walk.
The Forever Walk.
Yes.
Where did you walk to?
Well, we were going to
load in before the show. I assume
there was like
nowhere.
Apparently, there was a pub nearby. We were going to walk to it, and then we were like halfway there, or 3/4 of the way there, and Steve's like, "Oh, they're closed."
Mm-hmm.
So like, "Oh, but there's this other one that's not so far. It says it's only like 5 minutes away." Okay, so then we're walking for like 10 minutes. We're walking for like 10 minutes. I'm like, "Steve, where is this?" So they're like, "Huh, it says it's 7 minutes away." And he's like, "Oh wait, I have it set for driving."
Yeah,
so it's a 7-minute drive.
Because I was
so we're like, okay, we're not going to make it there, eat and be able to walk back in time. So
yeah,
we had to turn around and funny story. We went to the Edmonton Legion, but yeah,
we went to the Legion on was it 112th?
Whatever the one by the Edmonton Expo is, like
the one
North
by the Edmonton Expo
Gate or something. I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. And we had a soup and sandwich and a beer, and we played some pool.
Nice.
Yeah, and there was a
bridge tournament going on.
There was a bridge tournament going on.
Nice.
Yeah, there was like.
Unfortunately, you guys didn't have time to join in and win.
No, they were.
Also, I have no idea how to play bridge.
Basically, like Fancy Hearts, isn't it?
Kind of, but there's like plays and stuff to do.
Or Man Twist.
No, you're bidding. You have to bid on how many tricks you're going to win, and whatever you're bidding is also the trump suit, right?
Yeah.
But there's optimum plays and stuff. Like there's like gambits and stuff depending on what cards you have that you should be like doing with your partner or like stuff. It's way more complicated.
You're trying to figure out how to communicate with your partner without everyone else knowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
So compared to the Jasper Legion, not on the same vibe.
Well, we weren't there at the same time though either. It's not like we went looking there for an after party, but
yeah. But it was just like went in there and it's like, this is the Legion I remember from my like small town from Cochrane. Yeah, this is what the Legion feels like. Though they had lots of dartboards and a decent amount of pool tables. They had it was and then the food was okay. Like it wasn't anything special, and we, they had. Rickard's was their most adventurous beer on tap.
That's fine. Whatever. It's a Legion.
It's a Legion.
Don't expect it to be anything else.
Cool.
Yeah. So overall, it was a good time. It's a good time to be in Edmonton. Weather was great. It was warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone was friendly. I got family that lives up there in St. Albert, so I got to visit with them as well.
Yeah, and I got to hang with Barry and Katie and all that, and went out for breakfast both days, which was super fun. Went to an old diner on the Saturday, and then a German house on Sunday, which was super fun. I had bacon pancakes. It was delicious.
Nice. My cousins made pancakes and waffles on separate days there, and nice. I overindulged. Ate too many.
But
well, glad you guys were able to run a tight ship without me there muddling things up.
Yeah, so yeah, like it's a bit tighter with just the two guys because you can't wander sort of thing. Like, and especially on the Saturday, like it was just busy enough that like someone could step away for like a couple of minutes. Like Rob would go, do a little sharesy sort of thing, but the volume was enough that we couldn't get away sort of thing. So we didn't get to explore as much as like we usually do at like the Calgary show or something like that. But overall, like it was a good show. It's just it was a bit smaller this year. It just felt a bit smaller, but that's just how it goes for the year.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, and oh yeah, and then something we haven't seen in quite a while. There were booth babes at one of the booths.
Oh, those there. That's every couple of years they show up.
Yeah, no, it was specifically for Conor McGregor's stout.
It's a forged steel stout. Yeah.
So they had
ring girls basically.
They had ring girls essentially enticing very specific people to come in and take pictures and try the stout, which I still actually haven't tried. I don't know if it's a decent stout or not.
I didn't get a chance to try it either, but the people who did try it, they said it was kind of thin, tasted thin.
So thin compared to a Guinness.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. But yeah, it was funny. We're just at the booth, like getting ready to set up on the Friday, and all of a sudden it's just see like a girl walk by and just skip like very skimpy clothes, and it's like, it's pretty cold in here. She's not going to be in good cheer until it warms up in here in a bit once people get in. But yeah, I was remarking that to later to like my wife, and that is like you do see sometimes like people are hired for booths to work it, but no, their industry or something like that. But like specifically seeing booth babes, I haven't seen that in a couple of years. Because usually it's either the owners, workers, or someone hired specifically to serve drinks. But usually not in that kind of outfit. Not in that kind of outfit.
Well, we'll see if they show up again at Calgary.
Probably. Because like I've seen the marketing for Conor McGregor stout in a couple stores and that, like they're doing a big push. So hitting the local beer scenes are probably, we'll probably see him at the Calgary show.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else exciting about the Edmonton show, or should we talk about the update to the excise taxes?
I don't know if there's much to talk about there.
There's not. Bob and Doug McKenzie want. The rate is capped at 2%, which means our excise taxes are increasing $4 instead of $10. And that's not per rate of anything. That is our annual excise.
Yeah, that's our annual.
Yeah, it's like we've mentioned before, it's more of a big boy tax than the small brewery tax.
Yeah. Like we talked about at 948, because one of the guys at 948 was just like, okay, why is this a big thing? It's like, okay, because like you pay your provincial tax and you pay your federal one, your excise. But that's basically it. It's like if you're under, what is it, 250,000 liters, or is it
200,000 hex? Yeah, 200,000 liters or 200,000 hex or something. It's a huge amount.
So 0 to 2,000 hex is the base rate.
Yeah.
And then it goes up from there in increments. But
yeah, so for 80% of the beer producers in Canada, this doesn't matter. It's only for the big boys who have big pockets anyways. But they managed to knock it down from, was it like 4.7 down to 2? So
yeah, I mean, it only affects you if you're making tons of volume, which we're not. And
so that's the update. If you want to convince the federal government of something, you gotta get Bob and Doug McKenzie on your side.
Yeah.
All right. If there's anything else,
no. Like overall, it was a good show. This is the first show we actually had our proper IPA. People definitely liked it. I'd say overall, like it came out to an early lead, but eventually, like by the end, it was fairly even. Again, we had people coming up and saying like the amber was their favorite, and I'm like, go buy it at the store then. God damn it, you people.
Hey man, we have the same thing with this. That's what happened with the stout too, right?
We're
people love it at the shows, but it never makes it. Doesn't do well on liquor shelves.
Show beers and store beers. We know this is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So.
And then the only other thing was we had the red IPA or the RIPA. Red ale, and we were out of that by the Saturday afternoon. we were putting out as experimental red, and there was one guy, legitimately one guy, who was heartbroken that we weren't selling it. So because he come up and he was a bit of a beer aficionado, like he knew what he was talking about, and so he tried all the beers and all that. A man of culture, and like he was okay on the amber smash, and he was okay on the blonde. He's like, okay, like those are just decent beers. Like he was fine with them. He liked the IPA, but when we got to the red, he's like, that's really good. He's like, he really, really liked it. And he's like, where can I buy these? I'm like, you can buy any of these 3 wherever we sell. This is our experimental. Like there's only like, this is the last like 6 cans in existence that we have. And he was legitimately like, well, why don't you have it in cans? It's like, well, because we just made this as an experiment. It was a failed experiment. We're
so failed experiment isn't the right word there. It's the correct response is we'll have it out soon. We just don't ever really say it.
That's not how Steve was explaining this beer.
No, I was not explaining it.
Oh my god!
I kept telling everyone how it was a failed non-alc beer because it turned out to be 4.4%.
And it was a failed non-alc beer. It was always good to get a dig at you at the same time. It was like the brewer wasn't watching his temps. But I think that we should bring it to the Calgary show as well. We'll do like another batch on our system because
looks like you're being voluntold to do a batch there, Brendan.
Apparently. I think so.
Yeah.
But it came out uniquely enough that like people liked it. Like it really had, because of again its unusual malt bill, had a unique flavor to it that people really, really liked, including this guy. So yeah, like it was good for the beers. And at our next show, we'll have another new beer well, not a new beer, but it'll be an official new beer.
New release.
It'll be fun.
Yep.
Yeah, new release.
Excellent. Well, if anybody wanted to tell us again how great the red beer was, the red ale at the Edmonton show, how could they tell us, Steve?
Well, they could go to our website, solutionsbrewing.com, where they can fill out the form or send an email directly to noproblems@solutionsbrewing.com. Or they could go on to the old social media, Facebook or Instagram, and yell at us directly at Solutions Brewing Co.
Excellent.
Yeah. But overall, like, it was a good show. We've literally just sent off the note that we're going to sign up for next year, since they're offering super duper early bird pricing.
We do the show every year anyway. It don't matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. If they want it, give it to us a little cheaper, sure, we'll do that. And then that's 2 months. Early May, we'll be at the Calgary Beerfest, so that'll be fun.
Woo!
And if there's anyone in Cochrane, we'll see you there April 13th. There's a Cochrane show. Yeah,
if anyone's doing the Sip Savor at the Rotary Club, I think it was. We'll be participating in that in April, but we'll mention that a little bit closer to the time as well. So, yeah.
Right. Excellent.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks. We'll talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time.